was like, oh, this and that. And I remember the first or second time or third time or fourth time I came back from treatment. She's like, well, at least you're not doing heroin or, doing the meth. And I'm like, no, Mom, same thing. And she's like, what? I'm like, same thing. Yep. I was like, there's good people too, and it doesn't matter, and slowly she's been learning too. And she had knee replacement surgery, and she was getting fed pills, like they do. And she started running down. She started feeling sick, and so she Googled it and looked it up, and it scared the shit out of her. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, Corey!" She's like, "I am so sorry." Like, this is like, that was her like finally understanding the withdrawal effect and why, like, when I would start drinking, I couldn't stop because I didn't want to get sick and you can die. And people who use heroin, I feel really bad for them because when they go back out, I go back out. I want to drink a whole half gallon immediately. They go back out, they want to use the same amount, and that's where it is very, 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 very deadly. And my friends, I call them friends, and they are, who use heroin, it scares me to death, man, when I see them going off. And it's just like, I pray, and I'm just like, please let them get back to a safe spot, because people are dying that we were in there with, and it's just like, damn. Like, just one more time, that's what they're thinking. Oh, you wanted to use just one more time. Well, that was it. Where, it could happen for me for drinking, but the odds are greater for them.
Yeah, the thing about alcohol is it's a slow, painful death. But you're right. I had a friend back home that used, and she's gone. She passed away earlier this week. And I don't know, countless amount of people that have passed away from that. But I did want to touch on the subject of people that are going into treatment for the first time that do drink alcohol and can't find that similarity. When you go in, something that's going to hold you back and keep you sick is if you continuously only look at the differences. You need to look at the similarities and identify anything that you put in your body that's a mind-altering substance, and you turn into a physiological need. You have a problem and you need to change. And it doesn't matter what it is. So I just want to say that.
Yeah, because you see people all the time coming there. You work at a facility, so first-hand knowledge. Does that help you kind of stay grounded every day when you go in there and think, man, see a new person come in, detoxing, withdrawals, you're just like, I don't want to do that again.
Every day. Like, honestly, that is a major saving grace for me. When I start to get in those crappy moods, or I haven't, God willing it'll continue, but I haven't had a major case of the fuck-its this time around. And, but in the past, absolutely, like, nah. I hate my life. I'm never going to get back to where, I don't ever want to go back to where I was any way, shape, or form. And I accept that today. I'd say acceptance and humility, too, are the two key points of being successful to stay open to treatment. And when you get out, avoiding triggers, I get that to an extent, but you can't be fearful, unhealthily fearful for the rest of your life. I'm not saying go to a bar and order a drink and see how long you can stare at it, but, like hiding in your grandma's basement, that's not healthy either. So you got to find balance.
Yeah. Balance is a good key. And I think what helped me and what's helping me this time is being inspired. Like finding something that inspires you. Like I said, I did radio for 20 years, and that was kind of who I was. But right now, I don't want to do radio. Radio is horrible, and especially around here, like, it's bad. And it would be such a trigger for me to go in. And first of all, it would be a lot of work. I'm kind of like a lot of work kind of guy. So that would already stress me out. But this is something that I have a background in it. I pretty much kind of know what I'm doing. And it's something that I can help other people. And when people like reach out, and that inspires me, to keep it going. And, just to be inspired by something. It doesn't have to be a podcast. It could be building a house or, being a great dad. Just be inspired. Be inspired to know that you want to be there for your grandkids. You're getting up there, Anna. You're going to have grandkids soon. Before I will.
He only says that because I have a child. He's really 4 years older than me.
But it doesn't matter that. So you're bringing up pointless facts now. It's just minutia.
Yeah. So, no, eventually, yes, I would like to be a grandmother. You know, I don't want to die a slow, disgusting, bleeding from every orifice death at like 45 because I chose to. Because, yes, when you go back out, that first drink is a choice. Because I chose that over happiness, over actually being successful or loving myself.
What inspires you? Let's go around the room. What inspires you, Anna, to stay sober? Like what?
What inspires me? My daughter inspires me. I know I have a lot of hurt and pain there. I haven't seen her in 6 months and a day to today. However, I get to talk to her, not every day anymore, but I still get to talk to her. I get to see pictures of her. Inspires me that my daughter will know me here on earth versus a picture. To watch her succeed and continue to progress because she is autistic and she's come so far. My working with like-minded individuals, the feedback I get from running a women's group, seeing people actually succeed and do better, regaining a relationship with my mother and the rest of my family, watching my friends that I went to treatment with, because unfortunately less are doing successful, but the ones that are doing great are so much happier and pursuing things that either they never had before or that they did in the past but maybe a different way, and especially in recovery and spreading that word. Just being a better person. I also have an amazing supportive girlfriend who probably has the best work ethic out of anybody and the kindest heart that I've ever met in my entire life. And constantly reminds me that I'm not a piece of shit alcoholic anymore. And that helps. Yeah. So.
Thanks, Anna.
You're welcome.
How about you, Greg? What inspires you? You ever just wake up and feel inspired? You're just like, you know what?
Well, I mean, before, I would sit there and tell you I wouldn't make it past 31. I honestly thought that. And that's all I've seen for my life. That was it. Now it's just, I get to see my kids graduate. I actually get to be there for my kids. And just being a better husband, a better father, just constantly being there for them. I feel like I wasn't before. And that's something that really every morning I wake up, I'm thinking about, okay, how can we have family time? What can we do here? What can we do? Always planning something to try to, spend more time, because that, for me, my family is my inspiration. They're the strongest people I know, and me, I was down here and I felt like everybody, they were doing so well. They were, forgot what I was saying.
Well, while you remember, I wanted to say something about what you just said, and then we'll get to Jamie, what inspires her. But when a lot of people go to rehab, they're like, well, I'm doing it for my daughter. I'm doing it for my wife. But what you said, though, you didn't say you're doing it for them. You're doing it for you.
Yes.
So that you get to see them. You get to spend time with them. So that's a great way to say it, and that's the perfect way to say it, because you can't do it for somebody else. You just can't. You have to do it for yourself, and it's easier said than done. But what I mean by when I say do it for yourself, you're the one who has to feel good about spending time with those people. You have to feel good, like, I get to see my daughter. Like, I get to spend time with my wife, and I enjoy it. It's great. It's me. I'm not hiding from anything. And yeah, that's how you do it for other people, by doing it for yourself.
Yes. And yeah, this was my first time in treatment, but for years I tried to quit on my own, and it never worked for me. And there was so many moments, memories just tarnished for me. because of what I've done. So, now it's almost an everyday happiness to where you're like, oh, wow, I get this new day with the people I love. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
And now when you're an ass, you just be like, yep, I was an ass. I was. It wasn't the drugs. It was me just being an ass.
All me.
I'm sorry, honey.
Yep, all me.
That was in the past, so let's move on. I don't live in the past anymore, honey. Yeah, I was wrong once. Jamie, what inspires you the most to stay sober?
So, I think all of us that have children will say our children. And, my children really. My son, he's 12. And so he really, started feeling the effects of me drinking all of the time. And like I said, as we talked last night, that I was really in denial about it. And, it was just something that I did for fun after, watching hockey every night or whatever after work. But, really my children, my son, because I want him to know that, really that I love him and that I want to live the best possible life for him. I want to give him a good life. That's why. And my education, really, I'm continuing my education. I want to get my doctorate in nursing, so that, my education, my career is really a lot of my identity. So that's what really inspires me because, as you know, Corey, you can lose all of that. And maybe that I didn't lose that, but I could. And just that thought of me losing everything that I've built the last 10 years, that's a really big drive for me, is to not do that. So, that's really my inspiration, really, overall.
And you work in a treatment center facility as of right now, I think, but does that ever help, when you see people, because you have to see it pretty much every day you go to work, right? People, detoxing and...
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, oh, yeah, that's not fun.
It does. I see it every day, and I don't want to get to that point again. But my clients inspire me because I want to show them, you don't have to continue to do this. You don't have to continue to put these substances in your body. But you have to want to do it. You have to be accountable. You don't just go to treatment and detox and, go through the motions. You really have to want it. And you really have to change, you have to change your mindset. You have to change your friends. Let's be realistic. I lost a lot of friends when I quit drinking. I quit being invited to things, one day I went out to the casino and my friend was having a birthday party and she was a close friend of mine and I was really upset. And she was, not really upset, but I was, that hurts. Mm-hmm. And I was and she was well, we're in the bar and I didn't really want to invite you because I didn't want you to feel weird. It's do you want me to feel weird or is it you that feels weird because I'd be there and not drink? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, but I really want to, I just want to help my clients every day and hope that, even if it's 1 out of 100 that come through that door, that matters, matters. Let's be honest. We know that a lot of people aren't successful, but that's what we're there for, to hope that one time that they come in out of 13 times, this is the time, mm-hmm. Not give up on them. Yeah.
Anna, you look like you're about to cry, or you're really hot, or you have to pee. Which one is it?
No, I'm just listening. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little emotional when I was talking earlier. I'm good.
You did?
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you for calling me out.
No problem. Greg, push on her abdomen just to see. No, just kidding. Well, we are going to go eat. Normally we do the podcast on Saturdays from Charlevoix, and it kind of sucks that you came up and then we don't even get to take you there and do our live from Charlevoix Pizza Company, but they're having Venetian Fest this week, dude. I don't want anything to do with that city. I don't want to drive by there. I don't want to look with binoculars across the lake. I don't want any... Well, maybe I would do that, because they got these new things, Greg, and the butt cheeks just be hanging out, man. And that's cool that your daughter's not wearing any. You're raising her right. But no, these girls are walking down the street, man, just butt cheeks just hanging out. What are those called?
Gross.
It's not gross. I haven't seen it be gross yet. It could probably be.
I experienced it pretty disgustingly in Traverse City at the Nelly concert. The cheek showers,
Well, I could see a Nelly concert probably getting out of control, but I don't know. Yeah,